We need to be working resilience a lot more frequently into our lives and our schedules.
These are life skills. Imagine learning your job, where you only train for your job once a quarter.
Right.
What? Do you think that you would ever really get good at that skill?
How do you get proficient? You don't.
Yeah. So why is it that we have these once a quarter things where you're like, oh yeah, we had this resiliency day, we had this family day. All of a sudden now we're resilient. No, that's not how the human works. You know this. You are putting a band-aid on something
Hmm.
and calling it good. That's not how any of that works. It requires daily effort. And that honestly, like PT, how it's now part of the daily structure. And so should some form of, let's say 30 minutes of purposeful, like that's not even a lot to ask for.
No.
30 minutes of 100% purposeful resilience, education, and training where, and facilitation,
Hmm.
where 30 minutes a day, you have an RTA or MRT, because, everything's got to be done within a framework,
Right.
go over what it takes to build these skills and you have it planned. That could be done where people, now for the PT thing, the Air Force said, okay, 20 to 60 minutes of on duty time is going
Hmm.
to be the thing. Let's use that same framework. Let's say
Yeah.
20, because you don't need a lot, but you do need purposeful, intentful time.
Yes.
So let's say it's only 20 minutes. You could take 20 minutes and teach people, shoot, you could take half that, 10 minutes. The Wim Hof
Hmm.
video, 11 minutes, start to finish. You get people to go through a breathing exercise that 100% is proven by science
Yeah.
to calm the nervous system.
So you can use a 20-minute period. You can brief it. All right. Here's what we're going to be doing. You get into it, you do it, and then you debrief it. Right. And you took the 11 minutes of actual exercise time and then basically 5 minutes on either side of that
Yeah.
to brief and debrief it. And like, bam.
Big Air Force, I'm calling you out. Luke Air Force Base, I'm calling you out. Let's have a conversation. Let's bring resilience to base, to the Air Force, to the DOW. Let's make this a daily effort. Let's do this together.
Absolutely. I think that would be incredible. And we're moving per you know, the DODI, is a requirement to have squadron MRTs, but still that's going to be like considered like an additional duty. But what if your squadron MRT, just like any other CSS program job, was its own?
But like a UDM.
Yeah.
So
If a squadron MRT is a no kidding, like at least partially standalone-ish job, then they really could build out and flesh out these daily
the program,
schedule like programming of like here's what we're going to do, and now you slide that down to your RTAs or fellow MRTs in the unit or the squadron, right? And like, all right, here's what you're going to do to your with your work centers on a daily basis. Like they have time to build that and
yeah.
structure that and then execute that.
Yeah, you want to have a resilient force. You want to have a resilient Air Force, Space Force, anything part of the DOW. This includes all the civilians that work for the organizations too.
Hmm.
Include that into the daily workflow and make it part of what it is that we do on a day in, day out basis, because it is the things that you do consistently that end up becoming part of your character, part of your identity. And just like PT, if you make PT a priority in your daily schedule, like it has become, then you will become the person who makes sure that you're always ready.
Hmm.
What is it that we're focusing on now? Readiness. It is being always ready Well, how are people going to focus on their body, but not focus on their mind, their spirit, and all the other forms of wellness?
Right.
That's only part of the equation. Now, while exercise is one of the largest factors for mental health and overall well being,
Mhm.
it's not everything. There are a ton of other skills, communication skills, that are part of resilience. And having the ability to teach this on duty time, how many people can sit and have a conversation that is confrontational in a way where not an unhealthy confrontation, but confrontational where you're bringing something to the table that is in opposition to what the other person has, but you can do so in a respectful manner. How many I have personally had been witness to many heated conversations that
Mhm.
were not friendly whatsoever in the workplace, and people yelling. Like, look, there's a the whole stigma of how like military, used to be and all that, and the like all the movies and stuff that come out like Jarhead, where like Marines and stuff, they're screaming and stuff. Like, okay, that's good for Hollywood,
Right.
but the human experience, the mental health of people, like that's what we're focusing on. And the Air Force could really, really benefit from having daily interactions on these specific things. So you mentioned having a dedicated program manager that's like a duty position, like a UDM, and or being part of the CSS. Let's, you know, I think that would be absolutely amazing. Like, well, I'm short on Manning's. Like, well, how important is it to have a resilient force?